Well, Tuesday is election day again. And election day is always a good day to examine the path that the country's on, whether we're headed in the right direction, the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? So I spent a lot of time sitting around thinking about the path we've taken in the last 6 years. There's a lot to cover. I mean, everybody knows I'm not exactly like the biggest fan of the Republican Party. I get mail all the time from Republicans that, in defense of the Bush administration, take issue with my hair. But nobody's been able to tell me exactly what's gotten better. If you could tell me what's gotten better, I'd listen. If you want to talk about my hair, go fuck yourself. I can't think of anything that's gotten better. I can think of plenty of things that have gotten worse. We started 2 wars, one in Iraq, one in Afghanistan. We went from having a surplus to having a $3 trillion debt. One senseless, the other ineffective. We never found any WMDs. We have a lot more surveillance now than we ever did. We've alienated most of our Western allies. When traveling abroad now, it's not uncommon for Americans to claim they're Canadian. We've seen the suspension of habeas corpus, unauthorized wiretapping. The economy's a mess. Most of the people I know are making less money now. We've committed war crimes in Iraq by torturing and killing prisoners at Abu Ghraib prison. We've taken the unity that followed 9/11 and pissed it all away, and somehow used it to create a more divided country than ever. We now operate a political prison in Cuba. We have an inarticulate man-child for a president. What's gotten better? We've killed in excess of 500,000 Iraqis. We've successfully created a whole new generation of terrorists. The Republican leader of the House Caucus on Missing and Exploited Children was caught sending sexually explicit emails to a 16-year-old boy. 2,800 Americans were killed in terrorist attacks, and nobody's been apprehended or held accountable, despite the 2 wars. The separation of church and state has become a little blurred. We're now considering amendments that would actually restrict people's rights as opposed to expanding them. Violence in my neighborhood has increased substantially. I hear gunfire all the time. Maybe that's a sign of economic recovery. People now have all this disposable income for ammunition. We've got more spending and lower taxes. That's a neat trick. Toenail scissors, hair gel, matches, and shoes are now considered potential weapons. We're considering building a 2,000-mile fence along the U.S.-Mexico border. A fence. What's a fence going to do? Keep out dogs? We'll effectively keep dogs from illegally immigrating to the United States. I see more prostitutes on the street every day. Nothing says prosperity like a chick in a tube top and hot pants. What's gotten better? We've seen the most mismanaged natural disaster in this country's history in New Orleans. The United States and Australia are the only 2 countries that didn't sign the Kyoto Treaty. The reason given was that it would put a strain on our economy. Oh yeah, clearly we don't have all that extra cash like those fat cats in Bangladesh, Cambodia, and North Korea. Did I mention gas prices? The president's public speaking ability has launched the careers of several comedians. We've successfully threatened North Korea into making their nuclear ambitions a reality. And every night, there's a body count on the news. People were killed by mail containing the anthrax virus and nobody was apprehended. The vice president shot a guy because he thought he was a duck. What's gotten better? We saw an increase in hate crime on Muslims. We now have color-coded alerts so everybody, including the illiterate and non-English speaking, can also be afraid. Republican congressional candidate Tandy Nguyen sent letters to the Spanish-speaking members of his district warning that immigrants can be arrested for voting. Tandy Nguyen was born in Da Nang, Vietnam. Do you think Tandy Nguyen will be arrested for voting? Well, that pretty much sums it up. I think I'm done. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, really? Wow. All right, one of Bush's evangelical advisors has just resigned over accusations of buying drugs and having a 3-year homosexual relationship with a male prostitute. Okay, now I'm done. So when you go to the polls on Tuesday, ask yourself if this is the path you want to continue down. Ask yourself, what's gotten better? If you can tell me what's gotten better, I'd love to hear it. You tell me what's gotten better.